Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to The Walking Dead final season. First and foremost, I want to apologize about the audio in the first episode. I did mention I'm adjusting my audio settings. Hopefully I've got it down now so it's set nice and balanced. Basically, I had the gain turned up too high on my microphone with Windows also having a gain. So anytime I hit a particularly loud portion, it was becoming distorted as best as I can tell. So that's why my voice sounded terrible there. Volume levels are still up in the air and we're testing things. The problem is when I'm adjusting these things, I can do a 5-second video recording to see what I sound like, but the smaller problems won't be recognized until I can actually listen to an entire 30-minute, hour-long episode of me recording, because that's when I'm at my most natural and when something might pop up that's not immediately apparent. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few more tweaks that need to happen here. But yeah, that was that. I also remembered that the main character's name is Clementine, so we now know who we're playing as. But I don't know if there's really anything else to say. Let's just get back into the game. Yeah, there is. It's kind of surprising you can pan the camera like this. This definitely feels different visually than the first game, by far, and it feels much less like a comic book and more like a just unique Borderlands almost art style that I wouldn't mind seeing more games with this art style. There is also something to be said about the fact that all of the main characters whose appearances may be changed by choices you made are skinned into the game. So there is undoubtedly a scenario here where she would be missing a finger, like her pointer finger, I think, on her left hand or right hand. Yeah, right hand. I'm not sure. Or a digit. She might be missing that. She might not. And it's kind of hard to see. She also would have had a scar on her arm that you won't see because she's wearing a coat, and there could have been scars all over the place that might be indications of poor Clementine's life throughout this entire experience. One of the things to also take from this is they have, in the past couple weeks of recording this, announced that they're going to make a new Indiana Jones game. And it really befuddles me as far as what an Indiana Jones game would be. I half kind of would like it to be something like this, but then the action sequences that are scripted in this game would totally not work well in an Indiana Jones game. But also, a first-person shooter experience where you're playing as Indiana Jones and you're shooting hundreds of, if not thousands of Nazis also doesn't really work. But I don't think an Indiana Jones game will succeed at all if it's not a point-and-click adventure of some point. And so I would kind of like to see it. Wow, she's shorter than I thought she was. Let's see. Well, we'll just use a chair like a normal person. I feel like we're gonna run into somebody crazy who's gonna come off seeming like they're normal to start with, and then they're gonna turn out to be insane and basically kidnapping and abusing these kids.
This'll do.
So we now have a palette knife. I was going to call it a clay scraper. So yeah, if you were going to do a point-and-click adventure game where you're wandering around small, limited environments like the Telltale games did, that might be the attempt to doing 3D point-and-click adventure games instead of just doing the flat art style, the flat 2D art style that's more traditional. But then there's still, in the history of Telltale games, has not been proven. Well, apparently the door was locked. There has not been proven a good way to do action. Instead, it is just scripted events. And Indiana Jones in particular, it kind of makes sense to have scripted events, but I would much prefer a Resident Evil 4 style of scripted events, and that's definitely what this hallway reminds me of, is something from Resident Evil 4. Is this a school? There's anarchy signs all over the place. Keeps pointing me in that direction. Stay strong. So this does feel like it's a school for wayward youth. In a funny way, that is kind of who Clementine is. And it would be funny if it turned out that all of these events are actually
nothing over here.
It would be funny if all of the events are just happening in Clementine's mind and there is no zombie apocalypse. That would be... It would feel kind of like a cop-out to say, oh, the zombie apocalypse never actually happened and it was just a hallucination of somebody, but I'm not sure that any story has actually done that. There are definitely some things that... Boy, is this darker. There are some things that feel very much like they are cop-outs, but nobody's actually done it. Is that AJ?
I'm right here. Put down the knife.
That's AJ.
You do the same.
See, they can't recognize him from behind?
Not gonna hurt you. We've got your boy. He's safe.
That looks very much like
I'll
AJ.
take you to see him.
How about a show of good faith?
Hmm.
You lower yours, I'll lower mine.
Oh, I guess maybe that isn't AJ. He's got like a scar on his face. Well, that certainly looks a lot like AJ.
Not gonna hurt you.
That definitely looks like the actor from the Lost Boys movie, but that was a long time ago.
I'm Marlon. The little guy's Tennessee. 10 for short. He's the one been taking care of you.
Oh, well, I guess maybe I'm racist and just think all black people look the same.
Clementine.
Sorry about
Sorry.
locking the door and tying you to the bed and all. We were in pretty rough shape when we found you. You had to take precautions, you know, just in case.
I understand that. And taping
No
you
need
is
to
not
explain.
handcuffing.
Like you said, I was in pretty rough shape.
Yeah, to say the least. Must have
His
been tough out
face
there.
is so
Both of
scarred.
you. Anyway, I didn't mean to scare you. Just being cautious. Sorry if it came across the wrong way. But you're safe now, and so's your friend. Come on, let's go see your boy.
Like, first thing I would ask is definitely what happened to your face? Is this because you were burned by somebody else, or is this because you were burned by somebody here? Or were you burned in an accident? A lot of the backgrounds here just don't look good. They feel like they're not colored
Been
in,
surviving out there a while.
like they
huh?
ran out of budget
Yeah,
and
we've been on the
fired
road a
their
long time.
Take you learn
colorist.
how to handle yourself. Don't usually see people our age alone out in the wild. I can't imagine what that must have been like.
It's taken its toll. Been making a lot of
See, he's
mistakes
wearing a
lately.
leather jacket.
You saw the car.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You lived, didn't you?
The weirdness, particularly with the Telltale games, is the bespoke increments. It's just like cut to another load, cut to another load, cut to another load, because the engine is just terrible. And I would definitely say a major reason that
It's
this
good we found you
failed,
when we did.
that Telltale as a company failed, is because they were
Walkers run away.
trying to run
Is
their
it
own
totaled?
engine
Yeah.
when,
Fuck.
frankly, at this
Fast.
point,
I don't know what
it would have
happened if we
been
hadn't seen the smoke.
I appreciate it.
All alone with the kid?
it would have
Not a
been,
pleasant thought. I've seen some rough scenes,
let's see.
but that one would have been up there.
Hi there? What's his problem?
You're just new. We haven't seen anything like you in ever.
Are there no females?
What is this place?
This is just the Lost
Probably
Boys
tell it
Club.
used to be a school. Now it's whatever we want it to be.
And who's in charge?
Well, I am. You probably sound strange, kids run by a kid, but we do all right for ourselves. We've got good walls, good defenses, and good location too. No one really comes out this way anymore. We've carved ourselves the perfect camp. Kids are safe here. We make sure of it.
Just gonna let them talk.
It's our little kingdom. I just do what I can to keep the peace. It wasn't always like this, though. There used to be a lot of us, but you know how it goes.
Yeah,
Got
this
us a system
feels
in
like
place
this
that works
could
well enough.
easily be a cheap
Allow me to
ripoff
make it
of
formal.
the,
Welcome to Erickson's boarding school for troubled youth.
what is that
You and your
story
boy, feels like you both fit
with the
that
conch
description.
shell?
It's hard to survive too long these days without being a bit troubled.
Anyone tell you you're pretty nosy, Marlin?
Maybe I'm grasping at straws, but jury's still out on you.
The problem
Your boy
also
now?
with the game here.
He's definitely trouble. He's been a little terror since he arrived.
Excuse me?
Let's just say he hasn't been happy without you around. At all.
Yo! Marlin! We got walkers on the fence!
Yeah,
I need to take care of this.
Lord of the Flies
You know,
is the
Willie,
story
it's
I'm
probably
thinking
two
of. This could
grandma
be,
walkers and an angry
a-
squirrel. You got bigger fish. The kid's inside.
this is probably,
He's with Lewis.
Lewis?
Oh, right. Just listen for the music. You'll find him. Get
Yeah.
a move on, Willie. Where's your damn weapon?
see, there might be like one girl, that might be a girl. Yeah, but I would pretty much want to escape this scenario. Like, it doesn't seem like you're gaining much by having kids any more than you gained anything by having adults. Particularly knowing that the previous
music.
section you joined a whole city and that just fell apart. Yeah, this, I don't know what you would really even best describe this as far as a game. It feels,
You little motherfucker! Hey! Hey!
well, there's another
That
girl.
time you woke up, your little boy just bit me. He's lucky I didn't take a boot to his head. Nearly took a chunk out of me. Gah, hurt something fierce.
I'm so sorry. He acts out sometimes. He's been through a lot.
Yeah, well, ain't we all? Don't see any of us sinking our teeth into either of you. Boy needs to learn some respect.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe me letting him say the one F word has turned him into this completely different character than what he felt like before, or if this is just bad writing, because it kind of
Can't go this way.
feels like there's
music coming
just
from?
a lot of bad writing in the Telltale series. Yeah, but comic books don't jump from scene to scene that much. And then I don't think the Walking Dead comic in particular would have been able to jump scene to scene that much.
These look nice. Even if
So,
they're fake.
so it seems like the limitations of...
Nope. Music sounds like it's coming from this floor.
So you can't go upstairs. And I imagine you can't just run out the door. Yeah, the way this all feels is that if I am forced to stay in this group, which I immediately just want to leave with AJ, I think I, as the player of the video game, probably need to try to take control, and I think that means that the person in control now, Marlon, is not going to allow for that. This might be a ripoff of several of the seasons of the Walking Dead TV show where there's a society, but it's just run by a cruel dictator. Yeah, I totally misjudged that other character to be AJ.
Clem! You're okay. I was afraid you were...
You seem to be doing pretty well yourself.
Were you worried?
You have no idea, kiddo. But, AJ, listen to me. That girl out there says you bit her. Is that true?
I guess I want an answer.
Answer me, AJ. Did you bite her?
I didn't mean to. She snuck up on me.
Still, no more bites.
Yeah, people are gonna think you're a zombie.
You're not dead. That's good.
The game said that your
Watch the kid
AJ
for
was
you.
always listening.
My name is AJ.
Excuse me. I watched AJ for you.
But I don't.
Thanks.
I wonder if that
appreciate it.
just means
No problem.
nothing, or if it
Well,
really does imply
no
every
problem.
single decision I say.
It was a bit of a handful.
Everything you say here is going to
But
be
I got off light compared to what Ruby went through.
AJ
affecting
doesn't like
his
people coming up
actions
behind him.
near the second half of the game, when Clementine probably dies and
Loud and clear,
AJ
little man.
is going to have to
Thankfully,
live on his
I
own.
was here to calm him down with my alluring music.
See, this guy looks like he's older than the other guy.
I'm Lewis.
Clementine.
There's this
Oh,
inherent
yeah.
problem
Totally
too
forgot.
with
Marla left
trusting
your
these
bag in here
kids
somewhere.
in
Don't worry, I
particular,
got it.
because if these are kids from the troubled school, then they were troubled before. And while I am willing to believe that perhaps a zombie apocalypse would have improved their outlook on life and demeanor, I also wouldn't be surprised if it still means at least one or two of them are pretty crazy.
Does he know what that is?
It's dirty.
Clean it.
Maybe later. Back you go.
Where it belongs.
Dude, that can't be a good idea.
So these
That
kids
thing's bigger
can't.
than him. Is it actually loaded?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Let's see.
He's earned my trust with it.
He's a tot.
Yeah, a tot who can shoot.
You guys do your thing, I guess.
Yeah, these people are useless.
You don't know any others?
Well, there is one. But you're armed. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Oh,
This is
my
a-
darling Clementine. You are lost and gone forever. Dreadful sorry, Clementine.
This would have been the point I guess I remembered her name. This is a scene that would have been great in a regular game, but I feel like having this section here is paying some voice actor to add extra content they can't afford and possibly licensing a song.
I don't know. It's loud.
It is.
Loud is bad.
Not always.
Come press this key. Come on. This one right here.
Go ahead, AJ. Press it.
We are noticing that AJ is lacking just what a normal child would know about in health.
Now
That's-
press this one.
That
And
sucks,
this one.
certainly, but you're also in a zombie apocalypse,
You're a
so
natural.
you are just going to have a lost generation that's all about surviving and nothing
Seen
else.
Rosie? Nope. Shit. We've got a bit of a situation out there. To ask you just coming to and all, but could really use a hand. You up for taking out a few deadheads? You
And
too,
then
Lewis. Get your ass in gear.
They jump to an action scene.
Fine.
It's very sharp peaks and valleys from falling action talking to high action scripted sequences, and you couldn't do something like that in an Indiana Jones. It needs to be a smoother transition, less
You
jump
give her a weapon
cuts
back?
like this.
Good. We're gonna need you to put it to use. We've got a hunting party out there trying to get back inside. Need our help to clear the way. Seems to be a few more than usual these last couple
Seems
days.
really
It's almost
dark.
like something drew their attention. Something like, I don't know, an explosion or a car crash.
Bye.
What? Just saying. There's gotta be some explanation.
Look, I didn't know any of that was gonna happen. Sorry if it caused you guys problems.
Interesting how
Hello,
your choice
Clementine.
there is not
I'm
the
Violet.
same
Nice
as
to meet you.
not the same
you
as
All right, boys and
what
girls.
the prompts
starting to
are.
fill
I don't like that in most games, and this is particularly an example
Don't mind
of a
Violet.
game
She,
where you would
froze on you.
want
I promise.
exact
Oh, this? It's a chair leg. I call it Cheryl's.
you would like exact dialogue with the prompts. That way there's no confusion. There's been many a game.
Let me help. I need you to watch my back. Call out from inside if you see anything. Cool?
Okay.
See
See,
you on the other side.
the only thing I could think in a scenario like this is let the leader die and conveniently take over. Maybe slowly let all the adults die and then you're the only one in charge. But do you really want to be in charge of a bunch of younger kids when AJ is already more than you can handle? And see, it really is just the same scripted thing over and over again. They're gonna put two.
Could use a little more finesse, though.
They're gonna put two more,
Over here. Follow me.
two walkers next to you.
And that's how you school a walker.
That
There's
seems.
a whole bunch of traps laying around this area for these asshats. They're all marked, so keep a lookout.
Alright, well. Then. That's great and all. I think the prompts here have gotten way more difficult. And there might be
There's a whole
an
bunch of traps laying around
automatic
this area for these
difficulty
asshats. They're all
adjustment
marked, so
happening
keep a
here.
lookout.
So I am going to potentially just die multiple times, or die the first time in a lot of these instances. And look, the ground even lights up when the zombie is in range.
Looks like they made it back in one piece. Come on, meet him halfway.
But the game forces you to succeed, so... See if that will hit both of them. No, not really. Just barely had enough time. And there's a guy that snuck up behind me, which you would kind of expect that to happen in video games. Let's see. And it seems to me like they kind of force you into a scenario where you're gonna get grabbed. Whereas in previous games it feels like the grabbing was much more scripted. I mean, wasn't scripted.
We're back inside the gates. Keep an eye out for stragglers.
There's a lot of...
You know, you're not half bad considering the circumstances and all.
There's a lot of kids that are about your same age.
Thanks.
That's something Clementine hasn't had before,
We don't need them
with
attracting
the
a lot
exception of the previous New Frontier game, where there was one kid that you were just too mature for, frankly.
Piece of shit. I hate this cleanup bullshit.
See, this feels very scripted. We've got a dog that I would not think that a dog would be able to eat a zombie without becoming a zombie.
Had a bad experience with the dog once.
Well, Rosie here can help you get over it. She's as cuddly as they come. Oh, except when she's mauling walkers, that is.
Man, just licking zombie blood.
That walker came out of nowhere.
I guess that does mean pretty much everybody is probably infected with the virus.
You're not the only one.
How'd it go out there? How do you think it went?
Be nice, Asim.
Safe zone's nearly dry. I could barely find enough for tonight. We're gonna have to scout out further if we want food for the winter.
That's a really large rabbit that they have.
Later.
Bullshit. We should talk about this right now.
I said later, damn it. Still standing, I see. I'd call that a B+ performance there, Vi.
Yeah, most of this
Done
is just
better.
a cartoon, really,
B- then.
because
Now, Clem here. That was a solid A. A+ even.
like, if they're not gonna prompt me
Don't be
with,
jealous, Vi. Be better.
so let's just be nice to Violet.
You kicked ass, Violet. A+.
I know.
Violet will
You're
remember
both
that.
delusional.
Yeah, like the entire scene, and then it's just a jump cut to another load to another scene. But you got like one prompt, and that's it.
They're pretty good with the monsters.
Come on, y'all. Food's
AJ!
I'm just gonna.
Back's to goddamn wallop, huh?
Yeah, you can't really walk up behind him. He's got a thing about that.
A painful thing.
Yeah.
He can't go around punching people in the... You know, and expect him to eat at the same table.
I'll talk to him. Hey,
Hey,
what are you looking at?
what's that bird doing? That's gross. He should stop.
So So, we should talk about what just happened.
Yeah.
It was an accident.
I know.
I didn't mean to hit him. I didn't know that it was Marvin.
Marlon.
Right.
AJ, I'm sure they'll forgive you. But we should go talk to them.
But I don't think they like me.
I
can just
think
tell.
we
They don't.
we probably need to teach him how to get along with people a
Well,
little
let's
bit
try
better.
Not hitting them for a start, or biting.
He snuck up on me.
AJ, listen. We haven't eaten for days. The car is gone. All that's outside these walls are walkers. Do you really want to go back out there?
No.
So we should apologize to Marlon.
Right now?
Well, we can work up to it. Let's talk to the other kids first.
Yeah, getting along with people is an important skill, I think, that we are trying to teach AJ here. But it is also, I think, important to recognize that
Smart.
this is just another temporary stop on an ever-moving path for survivors. And the always keep moving advice that I think I gave Clementine, it has been proven to be pretty accurate.
There's that girl, I bet.
Yeah. Want to talk to her?
You mean say I'm sorry?
Yes.
She's scary and always seems so mad.
You can do it. You just gotta...
Tell you were scared. Yeah, tell the truth.
Tell her why you did it.
Because of my thing?
Yup. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Just be honest.
Yes.
This is
I'm sorry I bit you sometimes. When I get scared, I do that, but I don't mean to. I just get scared, and I'm sorry, and I hope your finger is okay.
Oh, Shug, it's all right. We can all get a little crazy when we get scared. Thank you for your honesty and your apology.
Ruby accepted AJ's
Sure
apology. Which kind of opens up the door that somebody's not going to accept AJ's apology. It does definitely feel like a lot of these characters are being written as kids, but they could have easily been written as adults also.
I'm not sure anyone would pledge to that.
And this also feels a lot like we are moving into the realm of doing a son-child raising simulator more than playing a Walking Dead game. Everything up until this point has been more of a...
Locked up tight. Wonder what's down there. Well, better make some friends before dinner.
Yeah, I bet some dead bodies of people that wouldn't cooperate. Or dead bodies of adults, which frankly I couldn't really be too upset if they did kill the adults in this scenario.
Hey,
Hey, you're new.
I am.
I'm carving a weapon.
Yeah, I can see that.
You're good at that.
You like that, huh, little dude? Want to see something cool?
I want to see.
Pretty rad, huh? That's how you fuck up some monsters.
Swear.
I'm sorry.
Seems like Mitch is possibly not communicable, not communicative. He can't talk. He's mostly mute. Developmental disability, I would bet. which that would kind of make sense that there almost certainly are a decent number of kids in boarding
Fuck off. Kids
schools.
must have not wanted anyone to get through there.
Or orphanages or whatever you want to call this. Let's just skip the pretense. They're basically jails. Jails you can put your kids in even if they potentially haven't violated any actual law. Let's click and run around. This is a fairly large area.
This might look nice in our room.
This is interesting. It's half flower picking simulator game and half child raising simulator. There's one major game series called Princess Maker that's a child raising simulator that's much more akin to a Japanese RPG than this. But it's certainly off-putting. Yeah, imagine I was Indiana Jones right now wandering around talking to random people. Would that feel like an Indiana Jones movie? No. Like almost all the Indiana Jones games are adventure experiences with maybe some talking head segments when things get explained. But we're not really having talking head segments in the Walking Dead series because nothing is ever going to be explained. Like, nobody's going to come out and say, hey, I've discovered the virus that we're all infected with. I have the cure, particularly from
Hey,
these
guys.
kids.
Clem, AJ, this is Omar. Excuse me.
Chef.
It would be really crazy if it
No,
turned
no,
out
it's
that
not ready yet.
they
Omar's
found some kind of
perfectionist.
mushroom or
The
something that
slightest flavor out of place and he's
that
grumpy
cured
for a week.
zombie
You can
infections.
eat or you can eat right. All it'll cost you is a little patience.
I'll let you guys know when we're done.
And this is mostly my interaction with these people is going to be whatever AJ learns as far as his interaction. The only thing I could really imagine that would happen here is perhaps they decide to keep AJ, or AJ decides to stay here, and Clementine decides to leave or gets kicked out.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hey. It's you two. Clementine, right?
Yep. A sim, right?
What are you writing?
Is that how you pronounce that name?
I chronicle everything.
I would have
Like
called
a
it
diary?
Asim
I try to think of it more like a history.
or Asim.
Those who do not learn from the past and all that.
You seemed really mad at Marlon back there.
He keeps pulling back the safe zone. We have fewer and fewer places to hunt, which means we're gonna have fewer and fewer things to eat.
The new girl went and helped the hunting party come back. She...
Hey, zip it! That is not yours to read, kid. Give it back.
It was just sitting there.
So?
So it was just sitting there.
AJ, give it back to him.
Okay.
Thank you. This thing is the only place I get any real privacy around here. Gotta preserve what I can, you know? I gotta fix this
Asim
before dinner. Not to
appreciated
be,
AJ,
like,
respected his
rude, but,
privacy.
You know. Bye.
There is a certain level of spying on people that makes sense in a zombie apocalypse. You're just gonna have to lose a lot of things, as it were, and like the ideas of privacy and decency and civil decorum are all things that I think stop happening fairly quickly.
Hey guys,
What is this?
our graveyard. You guys still do that?
Kinda, sorta.
So, who's buried here?
Nobody really. This is where we buried 10 sisters' belongings. Minnie and Sophie. Twins. Lost them. Both about a year ago. Paying respects.
Should we do that too? Maybe.
See.
I've never seen anyone do that.
Yeah, I think that'd be a very nice thing to do, AJ. Come on.
Thank you.
Yeah, this seems so obvious though, this scene. It's like you could either prove yourself a complete jerk
Yeah?
I'm ready
or
to talk to Marlon.
oh, so we couldn't even have
Okay.
talked to Marlon at this point. Until this point. So yeah, the game either forces you to make pretty terrible decisions, which I don't inherently want to.
Locked. Okay.
I don't inherently want to get kicked out of the facility by pissing people off. I'd rather sneak away in the middle of the night. Boy, this is just like a great example of it not feeling like a comic book, or them going just insanely heavy on trying to make this feel like the black and white Walking Dead comic, when there just should be more color. This palette looks awful, and it really makes her stand out, Clementine stand out, particularly the fact that she has this thick black outline like a comic book character around her, that seems like they're using a special visual filter that draws a 2D image around her outline always. That way you can rotate in 3D still and always have that thick black outline around her. And so here we have like consequences, whereas I don't think we can even talk to anybody else, so it's kind of pointless to say there will be consequences for this decision. That definitely doesn't feel like something that was in the game originally.
Clementine, right? I'm Brody. He's a sweet little fella. Figured there ain't a lot of room for sweetness still out there.
Let's see.
Be careful. He bites.
Don't worry about Ruby. From what I hear, it was self-defense.
Yeah. It does seem like...
I'm really sorry I hit you. Can we please stay here and eat dinner and not go out into the forest and get killed by monsters?
Well, don't sweat it, buddy. You can make it up to me by teaching me your technique. You, a regular heavyweight.
Hey, Clem! AJ! Stew's done!
You guys earned your supper after all.
That they're making this definitely out more as a joke. I don't think he literally was ever implying that he wasn't gonna feed them, because certainly that could have turned into a fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, dinner is served.
Thanks. Wow. Can't remember the last time we had a hot meal.
This almost feels
Really
like
good.
a case of he might just be poisoning everybody,
Come on.
and that would be the funny thing. Let's see.
Where are your manners, AJ?
Good night.
Good night. Clem.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sure they shared as much as they could.
AJ, heads up. I'm full, kiddo. You can have the rest.
You sure?
You bet.
Yeah.
Well done.
There is a question as far as like the beans we found
too.
in the first sequence.
Now what?
I'll tell you what. Time for something very important.
Oh, God. Good night.
Violet, it's time.
What's the game tonight, Lou?
War. The oldest game around. A game played by man and beast alike. The only game there is.
Sounds fun. How do we play?
So she
It's
doesn't know
easy.
how to play
Everyone
war.
gets a stack of cards. Everyone flips one over. Highest card wins.
And the winner gets to ask Clem a question. What? I want to get to know you. We all do.
And what if I win?
Then you get to ask us one. It's only fair.
Wait, what about AJ?
What about him? Looks like he's made a friend. Come on. You can take your eyes off him for one card game. Bet you both could use a break from each other.
Yeah, maybe. This is his first time around anyone his own age. Sometimes he acts more like an adult than a kid. It's nice to see him act like a little boy again.
Lewis, if you would.
There is definitely a feeling of the whole game just moving fairly slow, even in the zombie sections with the fact that you die. Lewis,
Way to go me. So about AJ.
Lewis probably
Where are AJ's parents?
cheated
You
and
two don't
stacked
really
the
look
deck.
related, so what happened there?
They're dead. They were nice people. For the most part.
It makes sense. He's a nice kid.
For the most part. Hey, I win.
Hey, you do. So, what do you want to know?
Let's see. Marlon's haircut. Grossest thing. Worst injury witnessed. Let's ask about Marlon's haircut. You have to pick something here, so now they're just whistling.
What's up with your haircut, Marlon?
Oh boy. What do you mean?
She means it looks like a dead cat. Probably smells like one too.
I look cool.
Whatever
He's
you
got
say.
a mullet.
I say I look cool.
Booyah!
Come on, spit it out.
So, ever have a boyfriend?
Oh my god.
What? It happens. Perfectly valid question. You can ask me if I've ever had a girlfriend.
Let's
I
see.
haven't, by the way.
Oh, I'm
There
sure
was a
she's
boy
real surprised
once.
about that one.
I met a boy one time,
And?
and we were friends.
Just friends. Nothing else? Nothing at all?
I don't remember. I don't remember what she's even referencing, so I'm just gonna stay silent here.
Okay.
Like, I kind of don't
I
care.
So, Clem,
The real question
you
here
can't have been
is,
alone this entire time. Who used to take care of you? Family? Anyone?
let's see. Guess we'll go with
The
Lee.
first person who taught me about survival was Lee.
What'd he teach you?
Lots of stuff.
Most important thing?
How to let go. I think how to let go is probably the best response there.
How to say goodbye.
But see, that's another great example of it was how to let go,
win
and she
again.
then phrases
You
it
do indeed.
how to
Ask
say
away.
goodbye instead. Let's see. Met anyone famous might be useful.
You guys meet anyone famous out there?
No.
Too bad. You'd figure a movie star or something would show up somewhere.
They had like millions of dollars. They're probably living in a bunker with butlers and waterbeds out the ass.
Yeah, maybe.
I met a guy who used to be a baseball player. Like, for money.
That's cool. I used to love baseball. Was he good at it?
Dunno. We never got to play. He was good with a bat, though.
Baseball sucks.
See, and that's like a reference
suck.
Not as
to
much as
the
baseball.
previous episode, previous season, which is kind of the least important season in Clementine's story. They're totally
Victory
cheating,
Valiant.
even
Here's
if
something
they
I'd love to
didn't
ask
stack
them
the
in
deck.
groups.
Out of the 4 of us, who do you think is gonna die first?
That is fucked up.
Oh, I know.
Let's see.
Any one of you, but certainly not me. So sure. Made it this far. So have we.
But yeah, they're playing 3 against 1
I am the
here.
greatest card player of all time.
Just ask your damn question.
Ever? Actually, never mind.
What? Ask it.
It's not a fun question.
Ask.
Ever had to kill someone you loved?
Lewis.
Let's see.
She wanted me to ask.
Did I shoot Kenny? Maybe.
Yeah, my friend Kenny.
What happened? What, like, led up to it?
His heart broke and never put itself back together. Believe me, I did him a favor.
This is really just going back to the greatest hits of the previous seasons.
I think I'm
But there's
playing for tonight.
so much of a
It's probably for the best.
so much of a gap
wanted me to
between
ask.
playing each level each season that
Let's go, AJ.
it's pretty much impossible to
Good night.
Night, AJ.
yeah.
Long day, huh?
Yep, real long.
I hope you know.
This
Lewis
really
didn't
puts
mean
me in a weird position because it
He's
feels
a
like
guy.
the only way you could
He's my
ever
best friend, so I
recommend
can call him
The
that.
Walking Dead as a group of seasons of episodic games is to tell somebody to
relax.
play 4 seasons of the game back to back, and the game is
Morning
just
from
too
Friday.
long for that.
Talk about
It's
making this long term.
it's
We can stay.
effectively
We can talk.
effectively like a Final Fantasy game where it's just there's easily 200 hours of gameplay that you'd have to play, and it just seems very, very slowly. This is effectively a visual novel with a few action sequences, but unlike most visual novels, it's not being written by one person, and it's not being it's not
We could
trying to
hide in
be a high
If a monster came.
think we'll have
level of storytelling
Well, in case we
as
did-
high as I think it should be.
This box has so many colors.
Well, must have been an artist living in here.
What's an artist?
It's like a person who colors a lot. Draws.
This
Does pictures.
I think was
You mean
Tennessee's
like tin?
Yeah.
sister's
Ken.
room.
Huh. I like to do pictures too.
Oh, shit. I didn't know Marlon set you up in this room. I just wanted to grab something from the closet. Where the hell is it? Oh. What? That's what I was looking for. It belonged to Sophie. Ten's sister. He was asking for more art supplies and stuff, so I was going to. Oh, sorry. We didn't know. No. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Honestly, it's just been sitting here for the past year and no one's touched it. If AJ wants to play with it, it's fine.
I think Tennessee is suffering more
You should
than
probably
AJ.
give the box back. It doesn't belong to us. Thanks, buddy. It's just that Ten wanted it since it was his sister's and all.
It's okay.
You can finish your drawing, though. I don't mind. Huh. I see you're, settling in. Yeah, is that okay? Sure, I guess. I always liked this room. Sophie had, like, paintings and shit on the walls. Lots of color. And Minerva. She was really musical. Not like Lewis, though. She had actual talent. She had the most amazing voice.
Real bluesy. Marlon always joked that he would scavenge a guitar and the two of them would tour the country.
That was a long time ago.
I guess one thing to say here, I'm mostly just listening.
Afterwards, Brody and 10 took down all the paintings, and that was the end of it.
I shouldn't have even brought it up. It's not a good memory. Guess I just lost my train of thought.
Most of us that are still around.
Like,
a lot of times we have
my main
bad
problem
memories
with
than
most
good.
visual novels is that there isn't, they aren't voice acted, and that they aren't
What exactly happened
animated.
to them?
That's the one thing you get
Secluded
here.
Nerva.
They went scavenging
Is
with
you
Marlon
get-
and Brody out past the safe zone. Didn't make it
You
back.
get full
It happens.
animation, and you do get full voice acting. So that is really great.
Honestly, I just miss having
I
someone
think the
around to talk
problem
to.
though is
There's
going
just so
for
many
seasons with The Walking
dudes.
Dead. They should have
This place
done.
can get a little too bro-town for my liking sometimes.
They should have
And
done
I'm
just
not
one season of The
exactly,
Walking
like,
Dead,
a people person.
and then they should
you
have
know,
done
I know I sometimes have
a
a habit. Have
bunch
a habit
of
being a little bit too
unique
harsh.
original stories to balance that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm
First
not paying
impressions
attention.
aren't exactly my strong suit either.
Oh, right.
Hey, Clem, I'm an artist now.
Not bad, kiddo.
I should be getting back. Thanks again for the box. You're pretty cool, AJ. See ya.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah, the only thing I could
Okay,
think
Alvin,
otherwise
Jr.,
is that
time for
they
bed.
they
Okay.
cannibalized
Here.
the younger kids.
For me? For the wall. To make our home look nice.
That's a good idea, AJ.
He really tried hard. Somebody definitely tore down posters and drawings.
How about here?
Collectibles can be found in the world to decorate your room, which that's definitely weird for a visual
AJ?
novel experience.
Hey there. What are you doing?
This is where I'm gonna sleep.
What? No, it's not.
It's safe under here. No one can get me.
Come on, AJ. The bed is way better.
I'd argue that you're also,
This bed is so comfy.
it'd be easier
What
to
about the
jump
door?
up.
What if someone comes in? What if they try to hurt us? What if they steal our stuff?
I'll keep watch. I'll sleep with one eye open if I have to.
You can't sleep like that. I tried. If I stay here, no one can find me, and I can keep guard and watch over you. I can protect us.
Hey, what's gotten into you?
Please, Clem. It's not so bad down here.
Fine, I guess
I'll
if
be
you
okay,
want
I
to.
promise.
If you want to, I don't care.
Okay, you can sleep under the bed. Here, for your head. Let me know if you get cold.
I will.
Okay. Good night, AJ.
Clem,
Yeah?
I'm glad we're not sleeping in the car anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Had they only done one season of The Walking Dead, and that had just been the story, and then they did original stories where they wouldn't have had to license anything, there could have been a whole collection of visual novel style experiences.
He's gonna let us
I
stay,
think
right?
I'm gonna just pause it here. Where, sure, maybe 50% of them would have been flops or mild successes, where 50% of them may have been like outstanding successes, or 50% of them may have been complete failures. Those numbers don't add up, but yeah, I think the licensing almost definitely has been proven to be a major factor to bankrupted Telltale as a company, and the competition was just not really there. In a funny way, in video games, there's lots of types of games that get heavy competition, particularly when there's success. In Telltale, there was just no competition like that at all. Even after the first Walking Dead game, nobody bothered to ever try to make a game quite like it. Probably because you could make something like Skyrim or Fallout, which is effectively the same game with still a lot of bugginess, but at least it has more of a gameplay loop, where the gameplay loop here is just practically non-existent. It's just watching cutscenes and occasionally answering a prompt, and that your enjoyment on this kind of gameplay is going to be directly connected to your interest in the story. And by the time this game came out, nobody was interested in playing Telltale games, really. They'd stretched themselves so incredibly thin. Whereas, had they gone cheaper and done a standard visual novel games, even to counterbalance this, and said, well, the licensed Walking Dead game is going to be fully voiced and fully animated, but we're going to just use flat animations and make mobile games for our standalone stories and our unique tales, that would have given them a second revenue stream that Telltale could never really happen. Even if they had gone back to their namesake and made some poker games again, that would have been potentially another revenue stream, but they just went all in with this style of storytelling, which is also kind of ridiculous because one of the games that was not advertised on here was the Jurassic Park game, which played pretty terribly, and that was one of the early games that they made as they were moving away from Sam & Max games and more standard adventure games. And I guess if you were going to make a 3D Indiana Jones point-and-click adventure game, it probably should be something closer to what the Sam & Max Save the World series was. Well, but I bet it isn't. Like, I'm very interested to see where this Indiana Jones game goes, but in all fairness, there is also a high chance that it goes nowhere, because it could get stuck in development hell and miss a release date that's anywhere near the next Indiana Jones movie that they're working on, which could also be canceled. And at that point, I wouldn't be surprised if it just never happens. But yeah, personally, I think Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis are the only good Indiana Jones games that were ever made, so I definitely would much prefer a flat 2D point-and-click adventure game that would be a talkie, but it would be flat 2D animation, and I think that would just work better than anything else. But you can also pretty well tell that I'm not very interested in the story so far. We kind of know where this is going. It's going to go bad somehow. Or, I mean, the only good scenario here is it somehow doesn't go bad, and then all these kids end up spending several years in this school, like raising themselves and surviving, and then they grow up, and then we see AJ as a 16, 17, 18-year-old, and Clementine at that point would probably be approaching 2022, and like you'd almost certainly have to have a time skip for that to happen. Well, of course you would. We're not going to real time go several years, but that is kind of the best case scenario, is that everybody grows up, everybody lives together, and there's no major conflicts. Otherwise, this just goes bad, and then they end up back on the road. Either that or Clementine dies, and I feel like if Clementine dies, they still would leave AJ alive, or AJ dies, and then that leaves Clementine alive, or they both die. I mean, but I seriously doubt that there's a good ending that they could even get to from this point. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. I hope the audio sounded better. I'm going to listen to it and make sure. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.